All right, guys, let's start, man. Episode 22 Transfer Daily. I didn't do an episode yesterday because I was actually working on this van. I do have to work on the other side. I'm doing some suspension work. If you guys don't know, I am a mechanic. If you don't know, let me get my wrenches. If you don't know, I had to bring these from work because I'm going to need one of these. I don't know which one, but I'm going to need one of them. And if you don't know now, you know. But that's what I do for a living. You know, and I also have a delivery and transport operation that I operate out of this van. If you don't know, now you know. And I don't use this YouTube channel to make money. It doesn't generate a lot of money because you guys don't watch the videos and you guys don't like the videos. So how you want me to make money from this? You see what I'm saying? So if you want me to keep doing this, you got to support the thing. You see what I'm saying? It works hand in hand. So guys, with that said, like the video. Let's go, man. We have a lot to cover, and I've had so much to cover over the last 2 days that I had to write it here, and write a little bit over here. And I'm going to actually split it up into 2 episodes, so check out episode 23 when you're done with this as well. So, guys, let's start with Martin Zubimendi. So the Spanish midfielder, and I saw an article today that says the best midfielder in Spain. I don't know how true that is. He is good, but it's arguably, you know what I'm saying? Everything's subjective. But Martin Zubimendi completes a 65 million euro move to Arsenal from Real Sociedad and is officially Arsenal's first major signing this summer transfer window. So congrats to Arsenal, and hopefully for them and their fans, they're able to complete the signings that they want to actually complete. And I'm going to do a little Arsenal segment here and then move on to the next team. I think this is the way I did this one. Not super random. So Rodrigo from Real Madrid to Arsenal, they continue to pursue the winger, but however, it's hit a roadblock because of wages. And it said that, let me see, I think Arsenal offered him £10.2 million. Or I think that's his wage demands, £10.2 million. I don't know if Arsenal are willing to actually meet that. So if it's hit a roadblock when it comes to the wages. And that you're going to see a theme with Arsenal when it comes to the wages. So Christian Norgard, the Brentford midfielder, has been linked to the move to Arsenal. But I don't see why Arsenal would be trying to get Norgard when Thomas Frank was linked to signing Norgard to Spurs. And Brentford came out and said that they don't want to sell. So why does Arsenal think that Norgard would rather go to Arsenal than go to Spurs? You see what I'm saying? To link up with his old manager. So I don't know if that one's going to actually work out for Arsenal. Thomas Partey is expected to leave Arsenal on a free as contract talks continue to stall. And that probably has to do with wage demands and the length of the contracts and the things that they want to put in the deal to renew Thomas Partey's contract. And the fact that Arsenal signed Mikel Merino, who is a midfielder, Declan Rice, who's a midfielder, they break the bank on Rice, and they're bringing in Zubimendi. I know Thomas Partey could be a utility man of some sort, and he could still fit into that midfield ahead of those players. But the thing is, you know, right now they probably don't need him because they might be thinking. I've been seeing Arsenal's also been linked with a Sevilla midfielder by the name of Agume. He used to play in the Italian league. I think he was at Inter before. I might be wrong, but Arsenal are linked with him. Arsenal are probably thinking, listen, if we bring in Agume, his salary ain't going to be nowhere close to where Thomas Partey's salary is. And we'll just sign him, let Partey go. And you see what I'm saying? And just have a player for the future. And a player who willing to play a backup role. Something that Partey might not be willing to do. So, yeah, pretty much. So, Benjamin Sesko to Arsenal is also stalling because of wage demands. It's crazy. And by the way, Sesko's price is 70 million pounds, by the way. So that's how much RB Leipzig won for the Slovenian striker. But in terms of the personal terms between Arsenal and the player, they kind of hitting a roadblock there. And that seemed to be a theme with Arsenal this summer transfer window. So Victor Gyökeres could also now be Arsenal's #1 target for the vacant #9 spot, seeing that the Benjamin Sesko thing is stalling. But there's also been reports that came out and said that Sesko wasn't even Arsenal's #1 target. It was Gyökeres. And Gyökeres is currently having a standoff with Sporting, who are basically playing games with his price. Sporting want this price. Arsenal put in a bid for the player. Sporting reject the bid. And Gyökeres is like, yo, what's going on, man? These guys are serious. These guys want me. They came in with a nice bid. And you turned down the money because you wanted 25 million euros more? Like, make it make sense. So it's been reported that Victor Gyökeres could potentially be going on strike in order to force the move. And as much as you don't like to see players do that, you can't blame the player. You're messing with the man's future. You're messing with the man's money, because I'm pretty sure he's going to get a better salary when he moves to Arsenal. So, guys, let's keep it moving, man. More Arsenal. Gabriel Martinelli is actually on Bayern's target list. It says Bayern are mulling a move for the Arsenal Brazilian winger. Yo, guess what? Let's say Arsenal bring in Rodrigo. Where do you have space for all these players? You see what I'm saying? You have Trossard, you have Martinelli, then if you bring in Rodrigo, and I'm probably forgetting some other players, but it makes sense. But Bayern have a lot of players on their watch list, though. I think I'm going to talk more about that in episode 23, the next episode. So Bayern Munich want to keep strengthening, and that's been a theme for Bayern for years. You know, they just want to bring the best players to continue being the best team in Germany, because when you have, you know, resurgent team like Leverkusen, and you have Stuttgart one year, you have RB Leipzig always around, you know, you have Borussia Dortmund, so on and so forth. You know, you got to keep strengthening, or else you're going to get embarrassed out there, man. And, you know, if you want to compete amongst the best in the Champions League, you're going to need the best players. So, guys, we move on from Arsenal. Let's talk a bit about Manchester United. Marcus Rashford is still hoping for a move to Barcelona, as he expressed his desire to play with one of the world's best players, Lamine Yamal. And you can't blame him, man. Yamal is a baller. You see what I'm saying? At his young age, he's a baller. And for Rashford, you might be able to bring out the best in him. So let's see if that deal materializes. Rashford's still looking for a club, as United want to part ways with the player permanently. Next up, we have a player in a similar situation in Jadon Sancho. And he is said to be prioritizing a move to Napoli over Juventus, as Man United want to sell him. He's been linked with numerous other clubs, but Napoli has become the front runner for Jadon Sancho's signature, where he might be able to link up with the likes of Kevin De Bruyne over there. So up next, guys, more Manchester United. Emi Martinez is pushing hard to join Manchester United. You know, they have their problems with their goalkeeper. And I also have Andrea Nana up next, who says he intends to stay at United and fight for his place. He has interest from AS Monaco as well. If I'm Onana, I'm going to Monaco. You see what I'm saying? I'm gone. I don't want to stay and fight for no place, man. Basically, it's like two men fighting for one girl. I don't want to fight for no place, man. It's either she's with me or she's with you. Nah, I don't want to share. I don't want to be there. Because look, you're the goalkeeper one week, you know, you mess up, you're under pressure. Next week, that other goalkeeper, I could actually see Emi Martinez being the #1 goalkeeper over there. That won't be a bad move for United, seeing that Aston Villa, he already said his goodbyes at Aston Villa. You know, they're going to cash in. And for a top goalkeeper like Emi Martinez, Man United would be a great destination if they have intentions of returning to their past glory. I hope they don't as a City fan, but I'm just saying. I'm just being unbiased here. So Kenny Tate will leave Fulham to sign with Everton on a free for a contract worth 3 years. So there's also been, talks of Kenny Tate and Fulham being linked with various fullbacks to fill the Tate position in case he leaves. And there you go, he's joining Everton. Everton's becoming very attractive for players these days. I don't know, maybe it's a new stadium. You see what I'm saying? But yeah. So guys, we're gonna land the plane in this episode with some Liverpool news. Let's start Jarell Kwanzaa. Let's start Mark Guehi. That's where we're gonna land the news here on Liverpool's potential next centre back, as Jarell Kwanzaa has completed his move from Liverpool to Leverkusen for £30 million with an additional £5 million in add-ons on a 5-year deal. But Liverpool did some really good business with this player and included a buyback clause in case, so that they could basically control the future of the player. If he does well, Liverpool could say, hey, we want to buy him back, and the buyback clause is probably £40 million. You see? So instead of paying £100 million in the future for a world-class Jarell Kwanzaa, Liverpool would buy him for £40 million, bring him back to their team, or maybe decide to sell him on for the £100 million that he is then worth. So good business, if you ask me, man. Good business, because it's a player that they didn't really want to sell, but I think there was some stipulations in the Florian Wirtz deal that said, hey, if we're gonna make this Florian Wirtz deal easier for you, but we just lost Jonathan Tah, we need centre back options. We want that guy Kwanzaa, and I think that's what happened. It might be something else, but I think that was probably a part of the whole thing. Let's start Mark Guehi. I know I talked about him day before yesterday, but with transfers, it's progression. You could talk about a transfer for 7 days straight until it happens. It's perfectly fine because there's going to be new developments. You see what I'm saying? And that's the beauty about transfers. That's why I like talking transfers. You could report it, you could give your thoughts, you could just reason. You see, I like talking about transfers. So Mark Guehi has come out as the front runner to be Liverpool's newest centre back. I'm not gonna say he's per se Jarell Kwanzaa's replacement, because Mark Guehi is way better than Jarell Kwanzaa in my opinion, right? And you guys might not agree with me, but I think he is. He's also been on the shortlist for Newcastle and maybe amongst other clubs. But Mark Guehi is solid. You see what I mean? And it's been said that Liverpool have him on their shortlist. Reports have said that Mark Guehi could jump at the opportunity to join Liverpool. Like, hey, Liverpool want me? Whoa, I always wanted to play for Liverpool. Hell yeah. He could agree personal terms with the club, and once he agreed personal terms, his heart is now at Liverpool. So now the clubs in Crystal Palace and Liverpool would have to work something out, whereas Guehi only has 1 year left on his contract, so he's not going to be super expensive. You see? And Liverpool could sign him now, have him integrated, so next season when Ibrahima Konate leaves, where he will leave, or maybe Ibrahima Konate leaves this window, maybe Liverpool will say, hey man, 1 year left on his contract too, let's cash in. You see what I mean? That could happen, but I don't think Real Madrid want to pay any money for Konate. Real Madrid want to sign him for free. So Real Madrid don't want to spend the money on him. They could probably use that same money, buy up a few players, put them in the academy, develop those players, right? Mark Guehi would be a great signing now. Pay the money for him now. Don't wait for him. Don't wait till next year. He could break a leg. He could break a kneecap. You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying. So reports have also come out and said that Mark Guehi is also prepared to see out the final year of his contract. You see? And there's also been reports that said by Ben Jacobs that Palace wants to sell him because they know he won't sign a new deal, and they could cash in, use that money, and bring in a player like Ousmane Diomande, who they've been linked with. Makes sense, don't it? Right? It makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. So, guys, let me know your thoughts on these players down below. Didn't want to drag this one on too long. I'm gonna make the other episode, and I'm gonna put out a double episodes today to make up for yesterday. And we have a lot of juicy ones to talk about in the next episode, and some confirmed signings as well. So, guys, thanks a lot for watching this one. Subscribe if you're new, like the video if you haven't yet done so. And from your boy Dom, until next time, peace out. Rich squad. Guys, like the video, man. Yeah, listen, this ain't easy. This ain't easy. Show me how many people are out here putting out videos, no edits. It's not a flex out. It just takes time, man. Experience. It takes experience to be able to do something like this. And I want you guys to appreciate this, because you could probably say to yourself, like, man, could I do that? It ain't easy. Guys, talk to you soon.